Hello. Um, I've had several instances in the past few months specifically wherein people have asked about how effective a robo vacuum and mopping machine has been. Been using one for over a year now. Back when I was in the States last year, and I took it from there and got it here. So I have something that's called the Roborock S5. Let me just show you what it is. This is the Roborock S5. It's by Xiaomi, which is me pretty much. And though this model is available in India, it's priced with import prices, so it's about 55,000. But there are other equivalent models in India which have the same functionality and are good, right? So let me just show you my robo. So this is where it is. As you can see, it gets dirty because it goes around doing that stuff, and this is the dustbin, and it again gets really dirty with all the dust and all that. The thing is, this is a filter, this is the bin itself. Though it's small, it's more than sufficient for a regular house. I have 2 dogs, and hence this bin gets filled upon every single use, right? So I will have to empty it after every single use. And this is from last night. The robo has just swept some dirt around and it's gotten it here. So that is one more thing that you may have to think of, meaning if there is a lot of dirt that the robo is not able to pick up, it will get it to its dock. It'll get it along with you, along with the robo, and get it. So this is how you open it to discard the debris and throw it. What else? You close it, it's up, it's ready for cleaning. Just the bottom side. Yeah, this has not been cleaned since it finished yesterday's cycle. So this is pretty much the arm that rotates and sweeps and gets the dirt to this path, wherein this brush keeps rotating and sucking at the same time so that the dust goes inside, right? So that's pretty much how it works. It's very ambidextrous in terms of moving around different directions. It can climb over up to an inch of, let's say, a small step or some mats that you have. And then at the end, this is just a trailing mat. It just trails behind the robo, and it just has all of, it just sweeps. So this is more of a added feature in any robo that you have. This is not very effective, especially for floors like these, which are rough and which have these ridges, right? It's not going to do a very good job of mopping in these ridges, right? Having said that, it's definitely good in the sense that you can do whatever you want with this robo, how many ever times you want. So let's say I'm just putting it back. Oops. That's a smart dock button. You press that, it goes back to its dock, right? It searches for its own dock, and it's positioning itself. And it'll go back. It'll just set back itself on charge, right? So it does this every time if it runs out of charge. So for one cycle of cleaning for our 1600 square feet house, it takes about 40-45 minutes, right? So it's fast enough. Now if you just hit that one button, it does a whole cycle of the whole house, it cleans the whole house. This is on its loudest setting, wherein it does that. So now you can see the dirt that was there. It just sweeps it underneath, right? Sweeps it underneath. Now it's checking where it is. It has to get connected to one home network so that you can control it from your mobile. But even otherwise, you can still use it. With this dirt that we had over there previously, right? So that is not there. It'll go about doing its thing, and it'll come back and sit on its top. So, what are the pros? The pro, this is just for the manual button, right? You can just press one button and you're done with it. Features that come along with it in the mobile app let you, I mean, for the first time when you use the robo, it maps the whole house and divides it in, after it's completed a full circle of the run of the house, it divides it into logically separated rooms, right? So if you have 3 rooms and a kitchen and a hall, it will separate it automatically. So that's a good thing. And you can modify the segregation that is done. For example, let's say by mistake it's that this room starts from here and it's drawn a line over here, and this side of it is the room, is what it says, and has classified from here onwards till there as the hall, right? From here onwards until there is the hall. You can change that line, you can shift that, you can erase this line so that it will merge both these parts of the segregation that it's already done. It will become a single room. But then you can just go into the app and draw a line here so that you can separate this hall as a separate cleaning space and this room as a separate cleaning space, right? So you can do things. What are the advantages of that? You can program it to just go and clean one room at a time, right? If you want to get your kitchen cleaned, you can just say, hey, clean the kitchen, and done. It'll move from its dock automatically. It'll go all the way, right? We'll just clean it. So this robo is just going around right now. That's another thing. It'll just go bump into obstacles which are there. It won't hurt the robo. It will just go and hit against a target, against an obstacle, and it'll just go on, right? As you can see, I have a lab. He sheds a lot of hair, and so this is a very classic example. You see this? This is a space in which the robo cannot fit, right? So I will have to make sure that my house is ready for a robo, right? So this is one of the things that you'll have to take care of. Right now, because there was space there, it was able to go there. If not, it would not be able to clean underneath the cleaning table, right? So right now I've cleared it. Now it will go inside here. If there's a cloth like this, it will get stuck in the robo. You will have to make sure that your house is clear of larger than average dust particles for the robot to do its work, right? So this is one of the things that you will have to do whenever you're running a robot, right? For example, this kitchen stopper that we have, this small little wedge always gets pulled by the robot's cleaning arm and dragged around. So you have to remove these things. One more thing that you will have to do is remove any mats that you have, right? This is the kitchen mat that we have that's on the floor. Yes, the robot would be able to climb over it and clean it, but if you have a mop mode on, no point, right? You don't want all the dirt that's been collected in the house to get dragged onto these these mats, right? So you will have to make sure that you remove all the mats and keep the house robo ready. You can also run the robo without the mopping attachment. That's a very viable feature, right? It just does the vacuuming, and you can choose when you want to attach the mopping attachment and monitor it, etc. But one honest suggestion that I would have is based on the type of floor that you have. If it is one of those glass finishes styles, right, or marble, etc., which is very smooth, this mop will definitely work much better. If not, one other option is to just buy a robo which does not have a mopping option, because it saves money and it saves you the hassle of thinking, hey, it's not mopping well or something, right? So in some houses, mopping once a week or twice a week is absolutely acceptable based on the amount of usage and based on the amount of dirt that you have, etc. So if you're one of those, a vacuum robo will definitely be a vacuum only robo, rather, without a mopping attachment is a definitely good option. So if I get into this room, there's a mat lying there, there's a mat lying here, there's another mat lying there. I'll have to pick up all of these mats now if I want to run the robo, right? So advantages, you can run the robo any number of times you want, and for any specific rooms you want, and in one go you can run the robo for almost the whole house. Or let's say if the house has been split into 5 or 6 areas, you can run it for 4 of those areas, 3 of those areas, etc., etc. So the flexibility is there. And if you want to run the robo, let's say 2 times or 3 times for the same room, you can do that as well. You just select the room and you have an option to clean the room 2x or 3x. So it'll literally go finish the whole room, and then at the end of the cycle it'll start the whole thing again and do it twice or thrice. The way the robo actually does its cleaning every single time is it'll start from whichever room it is. It'll go and draw the outline, right? It'll go there, it'll draw the outline, it'll follow the outline path, right, all the way to there. In my case, it'll go behind the dining area, go there. My hall ends somewhere there, right? So right now it's here. Now it'll go around this, it'll come here, it'll get there. So it's drawn the outline, right? After it's drawn the outline, it'll literally start following a straight back and forth motion. It'll literally do this, clean in this path and finish the cycle. So if you have 2x or 3x started, it'll do this for that specific room as many number of times as you've asked it, right? So advantages, it's much better than a maid in terms of not complaining. It'll do it as many times as you ask it to do. It'll also clean a single spot as many times as you ask it, and it'll also work any number of times a day you want, right? It can clean you can program it in the app to clean the house 2 times, 3 times, or even a room 2 times, 3 times a day. You can set the time periods when you want to clean it. For example, at least in the US, I used to program the robot to clean the house at 2 a.m. When I would be sleeping. Granted, I can't do that here, but whatever works for you. Or if you have a preference, if you think, at least back before pre-COVID days, when I knew that I won't be in the house in the weekend, I would just ask it to run at 2 p.m. On Saturdays and Sundays. It would do that. So you can definitely do that. Maintenance, you will have to empty the dustbin almost every single day if you have a lot of dirt, like how I showed. And the filter is just like any other car filter or any other water sediment filter that you have. You will have to clean it. All that you do is you just remove it and you just tap it on any surface, let's say the balcony wall or any other wooden stick that you have, so that the dust comes out. And then you will have to, you saw the mess that it had created with all the hair and all the entanglement. So there's a specific blade, a brush of sorts, which you take and you can untangle all of that. So there is some maintenance involved, which you will have to do once a week. You will have to clean these things out, and parts that need to be changed. I have not changed anything for the past year since I've bought it, and I am a heavy user, especially after I came back to India, because as I said, I have 2 dogs, and every single time my dustbin gets filled up, right? And you must have seen I have a 5-year-old. So there is a lot of usage, there's a lot of dirt, and I just run the robo whenever I feel like. I just wake up, I see that my dog's hair is all around, I just switch it on. Before we sleep, we just run it at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. It just does its thing. Noise, if you're concerned about that, I don't think it's a big deal. It doesn't, it's not, even if it's most powerful setting, it's not loud enough for it to be heard even outside the house or below the house, right? So that's something that you don't have to worry about. Reference, it's not as loud as a mixie, but it may be, it's just like a vacuum cleaner, but it's not in a smaller, a handheld vacuum cleaner or a typical household vacuum cleaner is much louder. Hope that gives some reference or context. Other than that, there are several models available. Not just for Xiaomi. There are several other manufacturers and other models available. I do not know how they work. There are instances, there are some models in which the water tank is, for example, if you see. So if you open this up, you see that this is the mopping attachment. You just go and get this cleaned, show it under the water, and you're done. Let's just do this. I know it's dirty, guys, but I'm showing you how dirty it can get. So a quick and easy way of doing this, just put it down there and hit it with whatever hose that you have, right? You can show it under the, I mean, you can go all out, clean it fully with soap and this and that for every clean. So this thing comes off like this. So that's Velcro, so it's bound to get things stuck to it, right? Let's say that's clean enough for you. You can put it back, and the way to remove this is you can slide it out. Can you hold it? Just hold it, yeah. So you pretty much pull it out like, you pull it out this way, it comes out, right? There you go. Then you can go and clean it however you want, and then you put it back inside, and then you are done, right? So you can attach it again, just stick the Velcro. I mean, I've been thinking of just making this attachment bigger by taking it and altering it, customizing it for my own needs. And this is how you fill water into this. This is pretty much just a novelty, right? Because this is not enough water to clean a house, for sure. This just keeps the pad moist, just moist enough so that it leaves streaks of water whenever you finish cleaning, and whenever the robot just moves around, right? So there are other models in India which have much bigger tanks and much bigger water reservoirs, right? And the other thing is you can open this here, right? And you can fill water. You can fill it with soap water or whatever you feel like, and then whenever you're done, you just go and attach it. That's it, right? So that's pretty much the whole deal. I think I've given all the details that I can think of. So I don't have to pay for a maid anymore. That's that's kind of a byproduct of it, I would say, because there were considerations, at least in my house, saying, hey, let's have the robot and a maid, right? If you want to do that, yeah, why not? But in this situation, I think having a maid has become, it has its pros and cons of sorts. So a typical robot would cost around 20,000 rupees. 20,000 it starts at, and I think it would go up to a good 40,000 rupees. Think about it as to how long it will take to break even. That could be one of your decision points. From an effectiveness perspective, yes, it's very effective. It's very effective because of the flexibility and the features that it offers, right? I don't know if a maid would be able to do all these things this well. It just is hassle-free, right? You don't have to worry about maid coming in, going out, carrying something in these situations into the house, or even asking the maid to clean surfaces. One more advantage that I just thought of. See, I got my bed altered. So as you can see, there is this additional attachment that we have, right? So the bed was initially only this high, all right? Let me just put it in regular mode. The bed was only this high, and I got this piece of wood attached so that the elevation would be much more, and this clearance is enough for a robot to go under. So that's a huge advantage, right? You can get things that a maid would never clean, or would clean once a month or once a week. You can get all of this cleaned every single day, right? So this part of the house is absolutely clean. It's very, very useful in terms of if you have dust allergies of minute dust particles just going and settling down underneath your bed, you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Because the robot will make sure that it cleans it. How am I so sure? I mean, for surfaces like this, I put 3x every single time, at least once a day. It cleans the underside of the bed 3 times, right? Every time after it's done cleaning, I can look at the mop cloth, and depending on the amount of level of dirt that's sitting on it, I can know, hey, okay, it's kind of cleaned. And also the other way of checking it is in the app. You can see the path that it's actually traced, right? So it'll tell you how much it's cleaned and how much it's finished. So those are all the things that I think I would have thought of when I was looking to buy this for usage in India. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So let me know if you have any specific questions. You can ping me, and I'll be happy to get back to you. All right.